Hello YouTube, welcome to this video on the Reliant Scimitar. In this video I'm going to swap the bucket seat for a normal road seat, get rid of the harness. I'm going to swap the steering wheel, update my speedometer and fix a fuel tank leak. One of the things I did when I reinstated the car about 6 months ago was to fit slightly bigger tyres. They're a more common size, easier to get better tyres, cheaper basically. So these are 205/55s, whereas they were 205/50s. So that's great, I've got these for 50 quid a corner basically, and they're nice sticky semi-slicks, they're great. I think they fill the arches a little better, totally personal preference, but I prefer the look. So of course now the speedometer is not reading quite correct, but as you can see I've got a bicycle speedometer in there. And what this means is you can set the circumference of the tyre in that speedometer so that it could suit any bicycle. So that means I can alter the number in that speedometer saved in there so that I can get the speed reading correctly again for the new tyre size. So the new size is 1917 apparently. There we go, miles per hour 1917, that should. But yeah, now if I hold this down for a very long time, I think it flicks back to... There we go, done. So that should read exactly right again. And obviously I've got it reading accurate. I don't want it reading like a normal speedometer on a normal car. So this one reads like your sat nav. It's exact. So if you're doing, if you're in a 30, I need to be sort of displaying 28 or 29 in there if the speed camera's about. Or even if there's not. There we go. That should be nice and accurate. So that's one of the jobs ticked off. Another job I've got to do, having done the track day, is to remove this seat, which is fantastic on a track, but it's flipping awful on the road. So I've got MR2 seats, just like this one. I've got two of them. One of them's in the garage there. So I'm going to put it back in and get rid of this harness as well, which again is unrivaled on track. It's just having a harness and a proper seat on track is fantastic. But in the car, on the road, it's just awful. It takes forever to get in and out. And like when you come to a Y junction, it's horrific. You've got to take the straps off to look around. It's ridiculous. So that's got to go. That's the next job. Well, they're so easy to get on, these are. They're a pain in the ass to get off. Especially when you've got a roll cagey thing in the way and you can't get to them. Oh my god! Ah! Yay! Alright. That is it, the pile of harness. Next to the seat. So I'm unbolting the seat now. There's one of the bolts there. Another one there. Another one there I'm working on. And there's one up in that hole. I tried to make them nice and easy as I can because I wanted this to be a fairly easy process. So I welded the head of the nut in there on the seat rail. Yeah, rough and ready. This is just for track day use really. So yeah, that comes out pretty easily, and I'll put the next one in. There we go, 2 MR2 seats now installed. Next thing is this wheel. It's been bothering me for a while. This is now coming off, so it's becoming time to change it anyway. But I've always felt like it's a little far away from the driver, so I was going to try and make a hub or do something with the lathe, but I sold my lathe, which is very unfortunate. So I have acquired another steering wheel. There we go, I've got another mounty steering wheel, same diameter, 14 inch, but as you can see, this one's pretty flat, and this one is dished. So this is going to do the job of bringing it closer. So it's off a Mark II Escort, I think. The hub will be different. This one's tapered and whatever. So, but the 6 holes, the PCD is the same. So I'm going to unscrew this one, use the nice shiny new screws, and put it on that hub. And then, yeah, that should be a nicer driving experience, having the steering wheel a little bit closer, basically. Been looking forward to this one for a while. Okay, new wheel fitted, new bolts. I think kind of a little bit green, but there we go. So I am itching to use this because there we go, it's going to bring the steering wheel quite a bit closer. So I might sit in and have a little try, but unfortunately I can't go for a drive yet. I haven't really got an excuse and I haven't really got any fuel. There we go, she's back to normal anyway, road use. The seatbelt was always here. The harness is gone. It might be a little hard to see, but the steering wheel's in. I've driven it a few times now. And it's just perfect. It's a much better distance. It wouldn't be too close for somebody with shorter legs who has to move the seat forward, so it's in an ideal position really. One of the things I've tended to do in the past is go nuts with stuff like this. The MR2 steering wheel, when I did the MR2 diesel car, that was too far away. So I made, I think I made something up on the lathe for that one. I went a bit crazy. The steering wheel was so close, and you had to reach a long way, take your hand off the steering wheel to do the indicators and the wipers and things. So I went too far, and subsequently I think I went with something in the middle, and it's a typical engineering thing to do, or maybe this is a typical Lawrence thing to do, is to just find a problem and go overboard fixing it. But this is not that. This has moved a couple of inches probably, so it's ideal. Really pleased with it. This is another job to do. This is the fuel sender. It's hard to see in the dark here, but this has been leaking. You can kind of see slightly clean area around the edge of the fuel sender there. You can see the shiny stainless steel tank, and that's where the fuel's been leaking out. And just when the tank is very full, it just drips very slowly. So it hasn't been a huge problem, and I've been putting it off because I wanted to use the car. So it's been a bit annoying because I've been putting tiny bits of fuel in, but basically I've got to get that off and reseal it. I think that's about it really. So I'll have a little look if there's any obvious problems. But I got hold of some Hylamar blue now, so that's the good stuff. It's just fuel resistant, so I'll do that next. That's it. I got it all sealed up. The light was just getting too much to film really, so I wasn't able to film it. But yeah, the fuel tank's down under there. So I took the back wheel off, and the sender's sort of right there. All done, sealed up. Last job now left is the hydraulic handbrake, which you can't see. That cylinder needs replacing, and I need to change the angle of it as well. The cylinder points downwards, which I think is... let me get that right. Yeah, I think that's the problem. I think it needs to point upwards, and then it would bleed more easily. So I got to order a part, which isn't much, but I can't afford it right now. So we'll come back to that. Change the angle of it, and then yeah, fit it, and hopefully the brakes will start working properly again. The brakes work fine, but sometimes they begin to bite. So if I push the pedal hard, it seems to reset some seal in that hydraulic handbrake cylinder, and then everything runs freely again. So it's not that the brakes aren't working; they're working too much. Yeah. Thanks for watching, folks. Hope you're enjoying this video. Tune in again.